Wow, wow, wow. Talk about setting a statement. Atletico Madrid have destroyed, humiliated, dismantled, discombobulated Real Madrid 5-2. And in this video, we're going to analyze exactly how they did it. Now, just looking at the starting lineups, some of the things that kind of stick out to me is you can see Atletico started in a 4-4-2 with the big man, little man combination. You can see here that Real Madrid is opted to go with a double pivot of Valverde and Chouameni. Correas was the more attacking fullback between him and Carvajal, and Simeone was more of the penetrative winger between him and Gonzalez. I thought defensively, Real Madrid's problems came down to a couple of main things. First, being that Atletico made it a point to target Correas down their right hand side, and you can tell this and when you look at their average positions. As you can see, there is two players in Simeone and Llorente who are making it a point to go down this left-hand side for Real Madrid. And this becomes a bigger problem when you consider the fact that Correas is one of the more attacking fullbacks out of this Madrid team. So, of course, he's going to be giving up space that they can therefore take advantage of. An example of what I'm talking about can be seen in this sequence here, where you can see Real Madrid are trying to press Atletico, and they don't do a particularly good job. And you see Chouameni here. He is pretty much facing the wrong way. He's going to miss the pass. He's basically going to be taken out of the play. And at this point, as you can see, they have a 2v1 on Correas here. So he kind of has to decide what he's going to do. And the optimal decision would be to pretty much just kind of go back with the rest of the defense to keep themselves compact and defend the box. But he opts to try to attack Pablo Barrios full stop, and he completely misses it. He gets outpaced because he's flat-footed. He's not the one on the ball. And as you can see now, he's created, or at least helped to not prevent a bad opportunity here for Atletico Madrid. Now, of course, this doesn't result in a goal, but as you can tell, like, if this is the type of defending that is going to be going on in the beginning of the match, it does not really bode well for what Real Madrid are going to be expecting. We have another moment. This time, Correas has the ball again, and the first thing I want you guys to pay attention to is look how wide the center backs are. Militao is here. He's basically playing as a left back, and Dean Horson is here right in front of Courtois. And at this point, Correas tries to get away from Simeone, and he loses the ball. And now there's I wouldn't say 3v2 because Chouameni is still kind of here, but this is still a really open gap that now Sorloth can run through. And luckily for them, he doesn't quite take advantage of that. However, Simeone still does well to spot the gap and put in a pass for it, but it wasn't the greatest pass. And Sorloth has to kind of like run, and he doesn't really have an opportunity to get a good connection on it. But again, the vulnerabilities are being shown by Real Madrid. Another big problem that Real Madrid had in this match was dealing with aerial duels in the box. And Atletico really seemed to have the advantage on them when it came to doing that. So in this first example, this is off of a free kick, and it specifically goes to a battle between Correas and I do not know which player this is, but they're battling for the ball. Correas doesn't really get close to him to really stop him from not winning the header, and he wins it. And then there's a poor clearance by Valverde that gets the ball back to I want to say this is Simeone. And at this point, it's about making sure you can reset. Fine, you didn't win the first header. Fine, they got the ball back, but you have to make sure you're still on your P's and Q's, and just to make sure that they don't get a second opportunity. Puts in the cross again. Lenormand out jumps Chouameni, and that's a goal for Atletico. So that's two lost headers in the span of one sequence for Real. So this next example doesn't exactly result in a goal, but I still want to bring this up. So this is the offside goal from Lenglet. And despite him being offside, the thing that really kind of irks me, or should irk you if you're a Real Madrid fan, is look how much space he has to get that header. Again, they're incredibly lucky that he ended up missing the ball completely and hitting it with his hand. But if he gets a good connection on the ball, there is absolutely no one to really stop him or make him uncomfortable to not get a clear-sighted goal. So again, he ends up hitting the ball with his hands. So obviously they call it back. Ends up not being a goal. But again, just way too much space, way too much time, and way little interruption to disrupt him. This next moment ends up being the equalizer for Atletico Madrid. First thing that pops out to me, lack of pressure. No one really goes out to close down the Atletico player, puts in a cross. And I guess the other thing that is a bit concerning here is Soloff is a big guy. Like he is, I want to say he's like 6'4", 6'3", somewhere around there. So I'm not really expecting Dean Huijsen and Carreras, especially, to be able to deal with him in the air. However, whether I'm expecting it or not, the fact of the matter is he needs to be dealt with. And Huijsen here doesn't really anticipate Soloff making that run in behind and really making sure to disrupt him or get up before he does. And he ends up missing the ball. Soloff gets the header off, directs it away from Courtois, and that is goal number 2, the goal that equalizes for Atletico. So again, these are more preventable goals that Atletico don't really take advantage of. I'm not really going to talk about the free kickers from Julian Alvarez, because that's just a world-class free kick. I might have to make a video about him because these last 2 games he's been going crazy. And also, I guess you could also even pull up the penalty that Real Madrid conceded and the poor clearance by Goulet there, as well as another example of bad box defending. And then the last goal that Atletico scored, the 5th goal, that's honestly just bad player error, to be honest. Valverde just makes a ridiculously stupid mistake, and Tchouaméni ends up paying for it. So yeah, that's specifically, I wanted to just talk about what some of the things that I noticed in this game. I think, again, the main things were Atletico taking advantage of weak defending by the left back of Real Madrid, and Real Madrid really not dealing with the aerial threat of Atletico in the box properly, whether it was through corners, through free kicks, or just through general crossing. And I think ultimately that, at least defensively, is what ended up costing them this game. All right, if you guys liked the video, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly of all, remember to have a good